If you would honestly rather fight a grizzly bear in the wilderness than attend a crowded music festival this weekend, I have some news that might finally stop the internal interrogation. Your brain has essentially saved you from a psychological nightmare that most of society is too distracted to even notice. You aren't damaged, you aren't broken, and you certainly aren't weird. Because you are simply witnessing a reality that everyone else is biologically blind to. Picture the standard Saturday night scenario. Your phone buzzes with a text about a packed downtown spot, and your soul immediately leaves your body. This isn't because you hate fun, but because your brain just calculated the metabolic and psychological cost and decided that bankruptcy isn't worth the entry fee. For decades, the field of psychology committed a massive diagnostic error by lumping everyone who enjoys their own company into a single concerning category of social failure. If you liked being alone, you were labeled an introvert at best or a loner and antisocial at worst, as if you were one bad day away from a dark villain origin story. But in 2016, a team of researchers at the University of Buffalo finally pulled the curtain back. They introduced a term that changes the entire conversation: unsociability. We need to be very precise here because unsociable is not the same as being antisocial. To be antisocial is to harbor active hostility toward people. To be avoidant is to stay away because of a fear-based anxiety or a lack of confidence. But unsociability is something entirely different. It is the calm, high-resolution preference for your own company. And it is a sign of a high-functioning nervous system. When these researchers studied this specific group, they didn't find a bunch of traumatized individuals hiding in the dark. They found people who were thriving, often at a higher level than their extroverted peers. To understand why this is a superpower rather than a wound, we have to look at the neurobiology of the solitude preference. First, your dopamine system, the brain's primary reward circuitry, operates on a much more sensitive frequency. Think of dopamine sensitivity as a spice tolerance for life. An extrovert's brain has a high tolerance. They need the whole jalapeno of a loud party. Flashing lights and constant social chatter just to feel a baseline hit of pleasure. But for the unsociable individual, the dopamine system is so finely tuned that a single flake of red pepper, a quiet conversation, or a solo walk reaches optimal stimulation levels. This isn't a deficit, it's a high-efficiency biological engine. And that doesn't require constant external refueling to stay running. While the rest of the world is desperately chasing the next social high, to avoid the withdrawal of silence, your brain is busy throwing a private party in the prefrontal cortex. This area of the brain is responsible for complex problem-solving, self-reflection, and deep work. In people who embrace solitude, the prefrontal cortex shows significantly heightened activity during alone time, meaning they aren't just sitting there, they are performing high-level mental defragmentation. This is exactly why breakthrough ideas in human history rarely happen in a brainstorming session. Breakthroughs happen in the shower, on solo walks, or at 2 a.m. Used when the world is finally quiet enough for the brain to process its own data. Einstein didn't solve the universe in a committee. He did his best work in absolute isolation. Isaac Newton, Virginia Woolf, and Maya Angelou didn't just tolerate solitude, they actively hunted it. Sometimes renting hotel rooms just to escape the noise of a perfectly good home. However, we need to apply a realist filter to this, because there is a crucial distinction we must make before you claim your solitude crown. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you choosing solitude from a place of abundance? Or are you hiding in it as a shield? Psychologist Abraham Maslow, the father of the hierarchy of needs, is warned that healthy solitude must come from a place of scarcity-free confidence. If you are alone because you feel safe there, but you know you are capable of connecting, but if you are alone because it feels safer than the pain of being judged or rejected, you aren't embracing solitude, you are maintaining a defense mechanism. True solitude is a move toward yourself, not a move away from others. It is the realization that you are already a whole set of Lego pieces, rather than a half-broken brick desperately searching for a matching partner to feel complete. This narrative that we are all halves looking for our better half is a psychological trap. Research from Dr. Bella DiPaolo found that people who genuinely love solitude often have stronger social networks because they aren't clinging to people out of a desperate need to avoid themselves. They are able to choose their connections with surgical precision. When you spend time at your own table first, you don't show up to the social table hungry. You show up full, centered, and clear-headed, which makes you the most emotionally intelligent person in any room you choose to enter. While Western society still views eating alone as a confession of failure, which other cultures have already decoded the value of the solo existence. In Japan, the concept of hitori, literally being alone, is not just accepted, it is a celebrated practice. They have designed entire infrastructures, from solo karaoke booths to restaurants with single-occupancy focus stalls, specifically for the one-person experience. They understand that the ability to exist with yourself is the ultimate mark of social intelligence. So if you are the person who cancels plans not out of malice, but out of a biological necessity to recharge, you aren't weird, you aren't broken, and your brain is wired to find its highest state of restoration in the quiet. The world is currently obsessed with constant connectivity, demanding that you be available, responsive, and plugged in 24/7. In an age of endless noise, the ability to genuinely enjoy your own company is a radical countercultural act. The next time someone asks why you're always alone, you can explain the mechanics of dopamine sensitivity. Or you can just give them a last realist smile and tell them the truth. I just really like the person I'm with. That usually ends the conversation immediately, and honestly, that's exactly what you wanted anyway. If this deep dive explained habits you've never been able to articulate, do not just scroll past. The videos on your screen right now are direct follow-ups, breaking down exactly why your brain recharges the way it does. We aren't just talking about personality here, we are talking about your neurological operating system. Final realist truth: solitude is the laboratory of the soul. Silence is the frequency of the wise. Don't fix what isn't broken, just find a quieter room. Subscribe to stay calibrated.